Okay, I just want to go over the F5 issues I'm having and show you guys what's going on and show you how the multiple nick thing I think needs to get addressed. So you can see here I've imported a couple different VMs. These were right out of VMware. You'll see that we use multiple NICs inside the environment, and F5 requires that. So the way this one's configured is there's a management interface, and here's the Mac. There's a bit of a way the license works that you need this thing to come up with the same Mac to match the license file and the IP to get it to boot properly. So that's the IP. We have four other NICs. These are generally defined as back-end NICs or different in and out profiles for the load balancing. So it's just single volume. We have services configured for 80 and 443. We use this host name. So the other one that I'm using is one that was imported with a single NIC. I think I was able to actually get this to work too if you go and delete all the other NICs and just leave it down to one. You see this one's just got the management interface, same MAC, same IP, same name, everything. There's the ID password. If you're on the console, it's going to be root and test #1, pass #1. So if you notice under F5 test here, this is a big IB box running. It's two cores. There's a memory. We just have one interface. There's the IP. We have these services defined. So what you'll notice is if you go to the console of this, I'm able to pull up the console. So what you first get is you get this configuration error, and that's because the license and stuff needs to be applied, and you need to enable LTM. So I log in as admin test #1. So what happens here is we have to begin the configuration. We click next. I've already licensed this with an evaluation license. So what you'll find is I can reactivate, but I'll just go next. Now this part all works, but what you need to do is you need to turn on the different services. So LTM is the most basic, so we'll try to turn it on. Hit next. It's okay. So you'll see it tries to reprovision it, and then it gives us this error right here. Standalone module cannot be provisioned. What we did find was in the virtual appliance in VMware, when we went down to one NIC and tried to bring this up and enable LTM, it gives us the same error message. So that leads me to believe it's because we don't have two NICs. It does show this one NIC active. It shows another one here, unknown. What you will notice is if we get on the box and do an IP config, we see one Ethernet address, and it comes up with that proper MAC 97. There's really no other Ethernet addresses being seen. So if we look at the other one, this is an F5 box with four NICs. See, they're all defined here. Ideally, this one would be at the top, but this will more prove the point. So I've got this IP configured to this hardware MAC address. Obviously, when you try to go to the web interface, it fails out. It doesn't get you in anywhere. We'll look at why. So you'll find on this, if we do an IP config, the hardware address on this is 98. There's only one interface. It did set the right IP, but that's not going to come up because the hardware address is supposed to be 97. So I have managed to get it to actually come up as 97, and the fact that it doesn't match up makes it so the same thing. You get into it, you try to enable LTM, and it doesn't work. So everything boots fine. Obviously, this is on the HP cloud. 'cause that was part of the requirement. But I'm pretty sure it comes down to the support for multiple NICs. I think we talked about it works in Linux and Ubuntu. Maybe it's the way F5 is doing their operating system. But ideally, if we can get the multiple NICs working, I'm pretty sure we can get the entire virtual appliance working. Really, it comes down to being able to enable this LTM module, having that go through. I have already figured out how to get around the licensing so that we can make copies. Because when you make a blueprint and start it up again, it doesn't know about the license. So you just need to have the key and the dossier file, and you'll be able to get through. Anyway, hopefully that gives you a good idea of the issue we're having, and hopefully we can figure out how to get the multiple NICs to come up on the F5 virtual appliance. Okay, thanks.